Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Meet the Team. Today we're going to be talking with our composer, Daniel Dombrowsky. Dan has been working in LA as a music composer for a number of years, and I actually worked with him previously on Dead Acres. He's also responsible for pretty much all of the music in Dark Deception, with the exception of the hotel level. Okay, first question. How long have you been composing music?
I've been playing music for about 30 years now. Grew up playing bass in rock bands, garage bands, that type of stuff all around Miami. And after school, I moved to New York and worked in the music industry for a while and really kind of missed playing and writing. So about 8 years ago, I quit everything, moved cross-country from New York to Los Angeles, and started doing this full time. That's when I started working on TV shows, independent movies, all that type of stuff.
Which do you enjoy more, composing for film or composing for games?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you because this is only my second video game. I did Dead Acres with Glow Stick Entertainment before, which was a very different game than this with regards to writing. And film is different because you kind of, at least the way we've been working on this game and the way I generally work on films is with films you see the action on screen and you get an idea of what the emotions that the characters have, and you have certain spots that you have to hit in the action, whereas a game it's a completely different thing because it's technically different. It's a looping piece of music, so you have to create a music that seamlessly loops and keeps going and sets a certain level, in this case, of fear, anxiety, tension for the player, and then you create your panic tracks. Honestly, this is a lot of fun because it's kind of blank slate, just go for it, as opposed to being kind of boxed in by a movie or TV. So honestly, I really like them both. This is like being at the playground. It's just a lot of fun and a lot of play and just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what happens. So anything that allows me to make music, I really love.
Question number 3. Which genre do you most enjoy composing for?
I generally tend towards dark stuff. I really like, either dark or brooding, kind of, or introspective. Anything too happy or bouncy, it's fine for a bit, but I think stuff like this, the Dark Deception type of stuff, or dark electronic stuff, or even some of the independent movies I've done. Everything I do tends to be pretty dark, except for the video game ads I've done that are rapping dragons. But besides that, poppy stuff, I really enjoy composing for stuff like this.
Which instruments or software do you use while composing your music?
Well, the main program I work in is Logic, and the instruments that I end up using vary based on the project that I'm working on. But for Dark Deception in particular, I've been using a lot of choirs, and honestly couldn't even tell you which choirs I'm using. Choirs, strings, obviously, and been doing a lot with there's a company called 8dio that makes these aleatoric string libraries where it's just noise that you can throw at things and put in there. So I've been doing that. In addition, I've been kind of using some you'll hear me playing violin on this, and playing violin, it's a very I can't play violin, so it's just screeches and noise and clacking and just nasty stuff. So that's kind of a thing that I'm using a lot on this. I have this horrible old auto harp that my wife got me at a flea market that's making a lot of noise in there. Sometimes in this score, you're going to hear an Aztec death whistle that drives my dog nuts when I play it. But it's just the instruments that I use depend generally on the project that I'm working on. But for this, it's a lot of orchestral stuff, choirs. There's some harpsichord in there, and just noise. Anything that makes noise, I'm throwing at it.
Is there any musician or composer who you draw inspiration from for your own music?
Yeah, actually, there are a lot because what I'll try and do is weekly. I'll try and pick a composer, a musician, and really focus on them. Check out interviews, songs, everything I can to kind of get a glimpse into their process and what they're doing. But recently, and you'll hear some of this stuff in the Dark Deception score. I've been listening to a lot of Bernard Herrmann, Trent Reznor, and Atticus Ross do some amazing sonic things. Johan Johansson, his score for Sicario and Arrival were just mind-boggling. The Theory of Everything, gorgeous. I mean, the guy was so varied in what he was able to do. I'm going to butcher this next name, but Abel Korzeniowski, who did Penny Dreadful, and The Nun. There's an electronic artist who does a lot of found sound electronic called Eskimo that is totally worth checking out. And it's amazing the noises that he can create. And John Williams. Everyone that does what I do is informed by John Williams on some level.
Since you were already pretty busy with a couple TV shows, what made you want to compose for Dark Deception?
Honestly, I tried to compose for Dark Deception when I first heard about it in, I think it was 2014, maybe 2013. I don't know. Our mutual friend, Miguel, who directed The Niño, introduced us. And I heard about this game and I was like, oh, that's cool as hell. And so I think I sent you some pieces that didn't fit what you were going for. And then we worked together on Dead Acres, which was a lot of fun getting to do some of that stuff. And then when this came back around, I was really excited. I was really excited, especially considering the direction that you were trying to go for with the music. You were going for something dark, and I thought that was cool and just like aggressive and dark. Whereas before, I think what I saw this game as was a little more playful, a little more Danny Elfman-esque, which is fine, but I think this really opens us up. And so I when it came back around, I really wanted to do it because I was like, oh, we can make some really cool sounds and try and do something fun and go really hard, heavy, and dark and just make something crazy, which I'm still trying to do. But that's what really got me interested in working on it now, is the prospect of just having a chance to do something that I wouldn't have a chance to do in any other thing I was working on. Just really mess around and see what craziness could come up with.
Now, I know you've been checking out our YouTube channel, and so far the general consensus from fans is that your music is pretty awesome. So my question is, how do you consistently come up with so many amazing and horrifying music tracks?
I just kind of try to think about what it would be like to be truly terrified and running from something. Unfortunately, I'm terrified of just about everything. I watch ghost shows and can't sleep for the night. I can't watch horror movies in the theater. And so I take that kind of fear, and then I try to distill it into something primal. Like if you listen to the tracks, generally there's always something thumping, like a heartbeat or something just pushing us along percussion wise, like just kind of just really egging us on, trying to up that tension, and then just throw on some screechy noises or these, just try to create something completely unsettling.
So on previous episodes, I asked both Panda and Nixon this as well. What advice would you give to aspiring musicians hoping to get a foot into the film or game music industry?
It is a tough road. Requires a lot of persistence and perseverance. It's not a sprint, definitely not, which is nice, but it also means you have to be willing to grind it out longer than most people would be willing to. There's no instant gratification in this, and I've had it pretty easy. I've gotten a lot of lucky breaks that have kept me in business doing this, but to learn from as many people as you can. Always go into it with a beginner's mind, and there's something to learn in every situation. So take away anything you can from any teacher, any mentor, any book, any album, anything like that, and then try to get better. Constantly try to improve your skill set. Another thing is get ready to hear no. I've heard no more times than I could possibly count. For every one job or project that I get, I've heard no on about 20 or 30. the stuff that you're working on is special. It's special to someone, and you're part of a team. So be a good team player. It's not about you as the composer, the musician. It's about the project. I mean, it's about making this thing the best that it could possibly be.
Okay, that's a wrap for this third episode. Next time we'll be talking with myself. I'll actually be taking questions from fans and answering them. If you like our Meet the Team series, or if you're here for the devlogs, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications.